A lot of rain falling in parts of the viewing area. Let's take a look at some of those, recap a few of those rainfall reports. You can see a lot of spots picking up over 2, 3, 4, even 5 inches of rainfall. Yesterday alone, a portion of southwest Rochester getting a viewer report there of over 7 inches, 7.5 to be exact. Another report out of the Austin area just shy of 5 inches. But folks towards Leroy, Elkton area reporting over 5 inches, nearly 5.5 inches in some locations there. But you can see Adams, St. Ansgar, Chester, Iowa, picking up 4+ inches of rainfall. Rochester area just shy of that 1 inch mark, but a lot of rain falling over portions of Mower County into portions of Fillmore County down towards Howard County, Iowa there. So certainly some wet conditions in many spots. But the good news is here the rest of tonight, looking at some dry conditions and looking at that long range forecast. It'll be a little while before we see some rainfall again. So this will be good news, great news, in fact, for folks that have been impacted by those floodwaters. But hopefully then we can see maybe some rain chances on the horizon past that. Eventually we'll get a little too dry.
Once we've dried out a little bit, yeah. We'll take what we can get, Sarah. Thank you.
Enjoying some sunny conditions out there today. A good break from all of that rain that we saw yesterday. If you're looking to get out and about here this evening, maybe do some grilling, head on down to downtown Rochester for Thursday's downtown. The evening forecast looking pretty great. Temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s here through about 8 o'clock or so tonight. Looking pretty comfortable. Dew points not too high, so not much humidity. We are, though, gearing up for some high heat and humidity heading into next week. Those latest First Alert forecast details are next.
Here's your First Alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
A big thank you to the viewer who sent us in that photo earlier today. Just kind of quick recapping of the rainfall that we saw yesterday. You can see the heaviest of that rain, the bulk of that falling through portions of Freeborn, Mower into Fillmore and Howard counties here. So a lot of rainfall falling very quickly and not great news. The good news is, though, we're pretty dry here with this forecast as we look ahead to the late week, the weekend, and especially into next week, where we will continue to track a pretty dry forecast. This will be great news for folks trying to clean up from those floodwaters and to see that flood water recede from the region. So looking forward to a drying period. The next big thing, though, is going to be the heat and humidity returning to the region. Tomorrow, not too bad, pretty comfortable. We'll see temperatures in the low 80s, some lower dew points into the 60s, so lower humidity, but temperatures on the climb through this weekend and especially into early next week, where Monday and Tuesday we're tracking high temperatures in the upper 80s and maybe even some low 90s for some of our warm spots south of I-90. And unfortunately, with the heat does come some humidity, so not too bad, bearable. There may be a little sticky between Friday and Saturday with dew points in those lower 60s, but dew points then will approach the upper 60s, maybe even low 70s by Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. So through early next week, looking at some muggy conditions. Tonight, we may have to worry about some areas of fog during the overnight hours and especially into that morning commute. So plan ahead for a little extra travel time tomorrow morning just to be on the safe side should we see that fog development. But by the afternoon, looking forward to more sunshine. And like I said, seasonal temperatures into the lower 80s and dew points should stay towards those lower 60s. So just a touch of humidity, but not too terrible here for the region. It actually feels pretty refreshing, very similar to today. As we look ahead to that 10-day forecast here, you can see plenty of sunshine. So a dry forecast ahead. Temperatures, though, getting really hot by Sunday, extending into about Wednesday, Thursday of next week. But Monday, Tuesday will probably be the hottest feeling days here of the upcoming week.
But at least it will be dry.
Yes.
A lot of communities very eager for that.
Absolutely.
Sarah, thank you. More news at 5 right after this.
Here's a look at your allergy report. This evening, trees, ragweed, mold, and grasses all at low levels. Dust sitting at a high to very high level. As we take a look at that 10-day forecast, we are tracking a beautiful stretch of weather, plenty of sunshine, no rain in the next 7 to 10 days. So good news for many. However, things getting rather hot and humid by early next week, Monday, Tuesday. Looking to be probably the worst couple days here of the upcoming week.
Perhaps the pool will be calling your name.
It sure will.
Thanks so much for joining us for your news and weather today at 5 o'clock.
We'll see you back here at 6.
We welcome in meteorologist Sarah Gannon at this 6 o'clock hour. A much different situation than we were dealing with 24 hours ago. Dry and warm out there, which is welcome news for people, Sarah.
Yeah, guys, a lot of sunshine out here today. Beautiful weather, and I've got to say, not too much humidity out here today. Dew points have been staying towards those lower 60s, so a little sticky, but a lot better than when we've seen those dew points in the 70s. So still keeping an eye, though, on those flood concerns in the region as waters gradually recede. But you can see a lot of that heavy rainfall situating itself over portions of Mower County into Fillmore County, Freeborn County, and into Howard County. Heading into the rest of tonight, no concerns for rainfall. If you're looking ahead to downtown Rochester for Thursday's downtown, great evening to do that. Or hey, if you just want to stay home, enjoy some time on the patio, do some grilling, a perfect evening to do so. We'll continue on with these clear skies, temperatures staying into the 70s here this evening. Concerns, though, heading into tomorrow morning for that morning commute. So we could be looking at some areas of fog, maybe a couple pockets of dense fog possible into that morning commute time frame for your early Friday morning. So monitoring that concern, giving you the first alert to some possible impacts to that morning commute. Keeping an eye, though, on the next big thing, tracking some more heat and humidity as we continue to move into the middle of July.
As long as it's not flooding, we're good with it right now, Sarah. Thank you for that preview.
We've been enjoying some beautiful conditions today. That extends into this evening. Another nice day ahead for our Friday, rounding out the work week on a pretty comfortable note with seasonal temperatures in the low 80s. Dew points noticeable in the lower 60s, but not super humid. However, tracking more heat, more humidity into next week. Your first alert details on what's in store. That's ahead next.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Coming off of a very soggy Wednesday, you can see those rainfall amounts really localized, the highest ones localized through portions of Howard County, Iowa, into Fillmore, Mower, and into Freeborn County in Minnesota. Significant rainfall there, a lot of that flash flooding happening. So good news to see some of those waters starting to recede, and a lot of folks impacted by those floodwaters here just in the last week will really like this forecast as well. Next 7 to 10 days looking very dry and quiet here for us in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. However, let's talk about the next big thing, because while we enjoy the dry conditions, the sunshine, heat, and humidity looking to return to the region. So things will feel very July-like as we move into early next week. Tomorrow, not too bad here for your Friday. We're looking at some seasonal temperatures into the lower 80s, dew points into the low 60s, so a little noticeable, but not terrible. We will, though, be looking to add temperatures climbing throughout this weekend and especially into next week, looking at high 80s, if not maybe a couple low 90s in some spots. So well above average. Temps will be roughly about 8 to 10 degrees above normal as we look ahead to early next week. So a hot stretch on the way. And as we take a look at that muggy meter, a little sticky maybe the next 2 days, but certainly that humidity will be very noticeable by early next week, even on Sunday, as we see dew points into the upper 60s and approaching that 70-degree mark where things get to feel very humid, maybe even a little tropical feeling. Concerns, though, heading into tomorrow morning. I want to give you the first alert to some areas of fog, maybe even pockets of dense fog heading into that morning commute. After about 2 a.m., we'll start to see some fog developing into the region that lasts into that morning commute. So allow for a little extra travel time heading into your Friday morning. But we should be looking at that fog burning off after about 8 a.m. Afternoon hours here for tomorrow. Your Friday looking pretty fantastic. Some nice sunshine. Temperatures there seasonal into those lower 80s. From there, we just watch the temperatures climb. Look at that 10-day forecast here through this weekend. We're looking at mid, maybe upper 80s on the way, but upper 80s, if not maybe some low 90s between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. But plenty of sunshine. No concerns on the way in the immediate forecast for rain in the region.
Many looking forward to the opportunity to dry out, Sarah.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, and it's also going to give the opportunity to dry out, to maybe get some sports on the local prep scene, if there are any. Probably not, because it's summer. I'm just trying to stall. Nick, are you ready?
Here's a look at your garden gallery winner this evening. Kathy from Rochester. Some beautiful cone flowers. You can head on over to Custom Retaining Wall and Landscaping in Rochester to pick up your $10 prize. Folks at home, send your garden photos in to garden@kttc.com. A quick look at that 10-day forecast as we track some quiet, comfortable weather tomorrow, but things getting hot and humid, especially into early next week. Stretch of upper 80s Monday through Wednesday.
We're ready to heat up, I suppose. Thanks for joining us for your news, weather, and sports tonight at 6.
We invite you to join us once again as we do it once again at 10.
We have the chance at some areas of fog heading into tomorrow morning's commute, so use some extra caution as you head out the door bright and early tomorrow morning for your Friday. Afternoon-wise, looking at some sunshine. High temperatures will be into those lower 80s. We'll track out more on those first alert forecast details as we look ahead to some hot and humid conditions next week.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Enjoying some beautiful sunshine in the area today. More in store through the coming week. And I'm sure that's great news for folks that have been trying to dry out from the flooding last week and even yesterday. So let's talk about the next big thing. In addition to the sunshine, we're tracking heat and humidity. Very July-like forecast on the way as we move into the weekend, especially next week, though. Watch temperatures as they climb into those upper 80s here by Monday and Tuesday. Some spots I would not be surprised to see maybe climbing towards that 90-degree mark, especially if you're west of the I-35 region or even along the interstate, maybe approaching that 90-degree mark. So things getting toasty heading into early next week. I'd say between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, probably our worst feeling days. We'll see those dew points on the climb as well, reaching the upper 60s, if not the low 70s, heading into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So some very warm, muggy conditions on the way. A very July-like forecast. But hey, we're hardy Minnesotan and Iowans. We're used to this stuff, right? Well, hey, giving you the first alert to tomorrow morning's commute. You may need to add a couple minutes to that morning travel, looking at the possibility of some areas of patchy fog. So just use a little extra caution as you head out the door tomorrow morning. From there, we'll see fog burning off by about 7, 8 a.m. So looking ahead to the afternoon time frame, temperatures within a couple degrees of seasonal average. So we'll be into those lower 80s. Average high this time of the year is about 81 degrees. So looking at highs around 82 for the Rochester region, 83 towards Preston, Decorah, Austin, Albert Lee, Charles City, and Mason City. Could be a little warmer towards the Riverside there, Winona at about 85, up towards Red Wing about 87. Let's take a look at that 10-day forecast as things just look very sunny, very warm, very summer-like here for the next 7 to 10 days. We'll track out those high temperatures, as I mentioned, into the mid-80s here this weekend. Upper 80s, maybe taking a run towards some low 90s by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And it's not always the heat that gets us, right? They always say that it's the humidity. We'll certainly be feeling that as we move into the next few days. But it looks like temperatures should cool off slightly back to more seasonal levels, say, by next weekend.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get too warm this week.
Yeah.
And we are taking comfort in knowing that Mother Nature is turning off the water hydrant for a while.
Yes, hopefully it doesn't last too long.
Yeah, right.
Let us dry out a little bit, but not too much.
Too much.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast here for the Austin, Mason City, and Winona area. Beautiful stretch of weather. We get pretty hot in terms of those temperatures next week. I'd say enjoy tomorrow. Probably our cooler, more comfortable day of the week. Dew points should be staying into those lower 60s. Afternoon high temperatures into those lower 80s, maybe creeping towards the mid 80s along the Mississippi Riverside. But things getting toasty heading into this weekend. We'll see those dew points on the rise. In addition to the temperatures, check this out by Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday, tracking high temperatures into the upper 80s, some approaching that low 90 mark. Some spots like Winona may be approaching lower 90s throughout portions of next week, but plenty of sunshine, no rain in the immediate forecast. An opportunity to enjoy the pool, get out on the water, just kind of relax as we endure some true summer July heat. Nick? As we look ahead here to the upcoming weekend and next week, things getting a little hot here for the region, tracking some high temperatures into the mid 80s by this weekend, upper 80s, maybe even pushing 90 in some locations between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. One thing of note here, the big story here is going to be the heat and the humidity that we're looking to see build in through the weekend and into next week. But I also have to point out, look at all of the sunshine icons there on that 10-day forecast. We're looking at a very dry, sunny stretch of weather on the way. No rain in the immediate forecast. This is good news for some. I know others, though, some spots maybe wanting a little rain. So that's it.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.